This here is the world's first Titan swapped D41 Nissan Frontier. We actually built this truck back in the fall of 2022 for the SEMA show for Nissan to display their new Nismo off-road parts, which we're showcasing on this vehicle. But to make it a little over the top, we went for that prototype V8 swap conversion because we wanted to see just what the new Frontier would be like with a full Titan drivetrain. And we're not talking just a V8 engine. We did from the front differential all the way to the rear. So this thing is upgraded to the hubs, the brakes, rear axle, transmission, differentials, everything. Starting with the suspension on the front end, everything from the frame out is now converted over from the Titan. And so even the upper lower control arms, the springs, the shocks from Nismo off-road, and the brakes, the hubs, and even updating to the larger 6-bolt pattern to run these Nismo Axis wheels. And so these are the non-beadlock versions. We went with the 18-inch on this one and wrapped in a Yokohama Geolandar MT 35-inch tires. So essentially it's a 295/70 18, but it's basically a 35-inch overall diameter. So it really fills out the wheel well because, as you can see, we did the Sabon wide body carbon fenders on this. And this was the truck that we actually designed these fenders on. We now have since put these on a couple different vehicles, but this was the truck that they were built off of. And it really just gives that wider wheel arch, and the 35 just fits perfectly. Looks a little much on a stock body, but these wheel wells just eat them right up. In between the frame rails is that Titan differential. And one of the biggest things, one of the hardest parts about doing this conversion, since it was the world's first, we ran into a lot of electrical issues, honestly. It was a whole new CAN program on the new Frontiers, and we actually found out very quickly that we had to use specific electronics from the 2020 plus Nissan Titans to be on the same CAN programming as the new Nissan Frontier. And so when we were going through, we had to make sure we had the correct alternator, differential, transmission, rear axle, just so many little things to get the whole truck communicating, since there's so many things controlled by the CAN system now. And that took us a little while. That was definitely the most difficult part of the conversion. Bolting in the actual mechanics of it, the engine, the differentials, the suspension, that all was pretty easy. That's usually my bread and butter, but we had to call in some reinforcements to get this thing wired up and fired up. So we also had Sabon design this new carbon fiber hood, which actually has a functional scoop in it so that we get more air into the Nissan VK56 engine that's in here. We've been running with these VK56s since 2006. I've done a bunch of different builds, putting them into Zs, into the Infinity, and then now putting one into a Frontier. So it was really, really rad to, once again, just like level up the engine without just putting like a supercharger or something on there, but to actually do a full engine swap and packing, like I said, just a massively powerful motor into a small chassis. So this thing is basically just a tiny little Titan. So it's really fast and really nimble, and it still has a lot of the torque and a lot of the speed that this engine can generate, but with much less weight. It does look like a factory engine bay because that's what we were going for. This was supposed to be a V8 concept vehicle. So we wanted to utilize as many factory components as we could, and anything that we made custom, we wanted to look factory as well. So that's why you don't see, a bunch of aftermarket wiring. You don't see like aftermarket, filters hanging around, this, that, and the other. It is very much supposed to look like how you would see it at a dealership. So I think we did a really good job with that. We had to slim down the fan on here because the V8 does sit further out than the V6 motors. Outside of that, just a lot of wiring. It really came out well. AC lines are back in. The only other major modification that we did was we put on those stainless steel headers. So, because we wanted to get, a little bit of a look and sound to it without trying to just fit the factory manifolds back on there. So that was kind of one of the performance modifications we did do to the engine. It wasn't too difficult to get it in. Like I said, the mechanics of it was pretty simple. It was just so much to get everything communicating properly. It was more difficult to get, the dash working and, all the electronics and, the climate control. That's where it gets a little over my head, honestly. Like I can power up, these fancy lights that we threw on there, but that's about as far as my electronic capabilities go. But yeah, we did the Nismo off-road by Rigid, A-pillar lights, and we also did a full light pod setup on the roof rack, which is the same roof rack that we have on the Forsberg Edition Frontier. This one we actually went with the 9 individual lights, which is a pretty cool look. It was kind of showcasing, you know, the individual light pods, and we got a little custom and put the 9 across the top and the 2 on the A-pillars. But on the Forsberg Edition, it's just a single 40-inch low profile that fits between those different rails on the roof rack. So it's a different kind of look, but I like this one because it has that classic round light bar look to it. On the rear bed sides, it's a Save-On Carbon full carbon fiber bedside conversion to get the wide body look. We left a little carbon reveal here on the top rail so that you can see it. It's actually a perfect fit with this Titan rear axle. When we bolted it up for the first time, I was so pumped on just exactly how flush the rear wheels were, because like I said, once again, you can see it's that big 6-bolt pattern and not the factory 6x114. So this is a true Titan rear axle that we put into it, which widened it out, gave it bigger brakes in the back, the bigger lug pattern, bigger axles, and so just a little more strength overall to handle the V8 conversion. The fenders front and rear are 4 inches wider than stock, so it just allows for much wider stance, which is awesome. I think it looks great. We have the same fenders on our street truck, but yeah, like I said, no spacers, nothing necessary. A 4-inch wider stance on both sides with this Nismo Axis wheel package. So it's yeah, really good looking. Like I said, with a 35-inch tire, it still just fits perfectly under these arches, because not only is it 4 inches wider, it's also has a larger overall radius, so you can run those larger radius tires. And so for the rest of the rear suspension, the only thing that I would change is to try and get a little more travel out of the rear end. But what is nice about this is it does have the factory Frontier leaf spring. We just had to move the perches on the Titan differential so that it all bolted up because it's a different width on there. It's still running the Nissan Frontier rear leaf springs, which, like I said, pros and cons. If it was my truck, I'd probably blow it out and try and get some, you know, long travels on there, because the front suspension with that Titan conversion does give it like 2 more inches of suspension travel. So we are limited to the factory travel in the rear, but the front is usually the limiting factor. So getting the +2 in the front does help even it out quite a bit. In the rear, we do have the Nismo off-road external reservoir bolt-in shocks. So it is a bolt-in affair, which is nice. The same shocks that you can get in the Forsberg Edition vehicle, and the same one that you can run on any factory Nissan Frontier. So, and the only other bit about the rear end is the Nismo off-road exhaust that we talked about, mating up with those stainless headers, but that is still a Frontier component, and you know, we felt that it was large enough to handle the horsepower from the V8. And another little Forsberg touch when we were doing this engine conversion was I just couldn't live with a green engine bay. This truck, when it came to us, was green inside and out, right? And, you know, we knew it was gonna get a wrap, we knew it was gonna get these other, you know, pieces on it. However, when you pop that hood, the engine bay was just gonna have, like, you know, all this area was just gonna be that green color. So what we did was we stripped everything out, you know, we pulled all the electronics out of the boxes, laid everything to the inside, and we went through and we coated the whole thing with steel black. So it's a way better look and just kind of doesn't have that green paint kind of take your attention away from the engine, which is the centerpiece. This is important to me because, you know, even though we're under a super tight time crunch, I still need to look a certain way, right? And so, like, one of the things I hate, like, the mismatched paint, you know, things like that. When you just like throw a wrap on, you see the color like between the gaps, whether it's an engine bay or like the door jambs, or even on the back of the cab. We actually pulled the bed off, scuffed the whole back of the cab, and coated it with the steel black as well. Might not bother some people, but it's just the type of thing that would just drive me up a wall. And so, yes, it's a lot of extra effort for a very minimal gain, but it's just, those are the little things that make the difference, in my opinion. So when this wrap comes through, you don't see that green paint coming through. So now you just have a nice black base, and when you look at it, you don't see, like, you know, the green here on the inside of the bed rails, the front side of the bed, you know, back side of the cab, all those little touches. So going that extra mile really makes a difference. Yeah, and the last piece of this rig is the Nismo off-road front bumper. It is big, it's burly, but if that's, you know, the look you're going for, this is definitely it. Bolts on, fits great, and it gives you some of these, you know, pickup points. It also still utilizes the factory radar, so that is still capable with this piece, and you even have a winch mount. So if you're looking to add a winch to your rig, then this would be the setup to go. Even get some extra light mounts down here, and it really ties it together and gives you something you can, you know, knock some bushes down with. But yeah, it's definitely just gives that overall hefty duty look on this rig. If you're looking for that overland, like big burly winch style bumper, then this is for you. On ours, we usually do like the tubular, like kind of like low profile, high clearance setups.